What's up, my name is Spencer, and in this video I'm going to be going through my new pack of animated icons. This is something I wish that I already had, so instead of constantly remaking these little assets like arrows and circles and highlights, things like that, I just put them into one motion graphic template. And if you don't use Premiere, that's totally cool. I've rendered them all out in ProRes, so you can still have access to them, but just know you're missing out a little bit. All right, let's just get right into it. Okay, so I jumped into Premiere and I've installed the new icon pack. If you have the handwritten pack, you'll see these guys, but I just wanted to do another pack that is a little bit more simple, a little bit more modern. It's basically just made with shape layers. It is 4K. I am in a 1080 timeline. So you can see here all the options, and you have controls for pretty much everything. The thing that I do want to mention is just down here, it's the thickness slider, and you can see that it says only controls some icons. So if you look over here, you can rule out anything that's drawn in marker. It won't affect the thickness of those things, and things that it wouldn't make sense, like this little map icon here, it wouldn't make sense to make that thicker. But in terms of, like, you know, doing squares and stuff, it'll just make those lines thicker. So that's just something to be aware of. I'm going to show you a few examples of basically why I created the whole pack. Okay, so here's a video of just me and my dog skateboarding, and just for an example, let's add a swipe up arrow, and I just quickly want to show you here like what would happen. So it's responsive, which is amazing, but it's 4K, so it's massive right now. But if I come over here and then set to the frame size, you can see if you start to move this down, it's just gonna fall right off the screen because the actual frame ends right here, right? So the way to remedy that is you could rotate this 90 degrees, or when you're just putting the effect on, just don't scale it down. You could just go from here, you know, swipe up arrows, scale it down so it fits, and then bring it down a little bit. And yeah, we're gonna have to scale that way more down. And maybe we want it a little bit wider, scale that down. Maybe we want it, you know, a little thicker. And a nice blue would be cool. Okay, and then you can see right when it comes in here, it has a little animation. So it only has, and this goes for all of them, it only has an in and an out animation. Some of them don't actually have an out animation because the way I was creating them in my head, I was thinking, okay, you probably won't need an out animation, but you could always nest it and then reverse it if you need it. So on this one, it has an out, and say you want that to be repeating instead of just being held to blue bars. So you could just do this, make them nice and short, and then duplicate them. I think that's maybe a little bit aggressive, but you get the point. All right, another reason I wanted to make this whole icon pack was for highlighting specifically. You can throw simple lower thirds on there, make it reveals, and you see stuff like this a whole lot. If you've ever watched a Vox video or any news related video, they often have stuff like this. That's just a simple highlight, and these are super easy to create with this icon pack that I've made. It's basically just a drag and drop. So what I'm gonna do is, for this, I'm gonna scale the size. So for this one, maybe let's do ink because it's just something different. Same premise, and then we'll move that down. And yeah, let's do fall and winter seasons. So we'll move it over, and that is kind of generally in the area. And here's where I added stretch wide and stretch tall. It's specifically for highlighting, although you can use it for anything else. So if you go down, you can see it's just kind of stretching inward on itself, and then you can fine tune it with the position. So maybe I stretched it a little bit too tight. And then same thing, depending on how much space in between your text there is. That's pretty dang close. And obviously for this one, since it's a marker, this slider does nothing. So I just want you guys to be aware of that, because I don't want some of the feedback to be like, oh, this slider's broken. It doesn't work on every single one. That's all I'm saying. And then for the last thing that I'll do, I'll just dial back the opacity so you can really see the text. So yeah, let's go 75 here. And let's preview that. And that's it. Yeah, super fast, super easy to use. Yeah, I really enjoyed making this pack, because this is something that I've been wanting for a long time. So I'm really happy to bring this to you guys. Thanks for watching, and if you edit in Premiere, maybe consider subscribing. All right, that's it for me.